What's up guys, my name's Diachronic, your host here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be talking about the Exodus Crash cheese. You can get through the Nightfall with the maximum amount of time allotted to help you guys get the Rat King, or just try to finish the Nightfall with enough time remaining, because this is one of the more difficult Nightfalls to be able to get to the end and actually finish it with enough time remaining, because of the fact that there is no prism burn, so there's no special type of damage burn, as well as the fact that the boss just disappears like all the time. You can never do enough damage to him before he just takes off and runs away. So first things first, if you guys do want to get the Rat King and you want to do it on this Nightfall, I'm going to be outlining the best possible way to do it, as well as the cheese. But what I recommend doing is just waiting for another Nightfall. It's really not worth your time and effort to do the Rat King on this Nightfall with 5 minutes remaining. If you guys are just trying to do the Nightfall, just follow the guide here. It shouldn't be as difficult because you have an extra 5 minutes. But overall, this is one of the harder Nightfalls just because of the things that are in the thing, because there's no burn and because the boss just takes off, like I said. So to start off the mission, I would say just fight the enemies. Don't try to go through on your Sparrow and try to get all the things. There's a lot of anomalies in this area that you're going to want to get behind some things, on the top of things, underneath things. Just shoot all the anomalies as you're going through. I recommend going on foot with your teammates. I've done this Nightfall 5 times now, and I gotta say, going through on your Sparrow is not a good idea, especially because of the fact that the other type of multiplayer or different skull on that is called attrition, where you have very limited shield regeneration, and you have to basically get kill and see the little light that comes off of the enemy's bodies. You have to go grab that to get your shield back. It's kind of like Black Eye from Halo 3's the way I kind of describe it, and it makes it really difficult to stay alive for long periods of time because you always need to be grabbing that. So overall, I definitely recommend having Warlocks on this mission. It is definitely one of the better classes because of the fact you can put down a healing rift. In this first area, make sure you again check behind things, on top of rocks, behind rocks, inside the chasms. There's one on the right chasm and one on the left. There's one on the far side and the far back right. We're not supposed to go towards. There's a lot of different places for anomalies. You can kind of follow the video where I kind of shoot the things. But again, stay together, stay on foot. Don't go for sparrows. It's really not worth your time. Once you get past this area, you're going to move on to the next section. As you're walking through this section, make sure you keep looking up, because there's a lot of anomalies that are kind of above you in the rafters as well as behind rocks. Later on this section, there's going to be one that's actually underground. Again, you can see anomaly detected in the left side there whenever you're near an anomaly, so just keep checking that, and you can look around for some anomalies. You might have to do the Nightfall a couple times to figure out where they all are. I think I found most of them for the most part. Again, just keep looking up. The one underground, you just go past it a little bit on the right. You'll see like an opening in the rocks. Just continue down on that rafters, and you'll be able to find the one underground. It's not that important, but it is something you want to keep in mind until you get to this next section, which is going to be the most important part for the cheese. So once you get to this section, what I recommend doing is just sticking together as a team, using barricades, using healing rifts, just shooting the same targets. Really don't let any of the shanks near you in this little objective thing, and just get through this. You should probably try to avoid dying multiple times here. This is probably the hardest part, as well as the boss fight, so just stay together, get those little light health things back, and use healing rifts, and really focus targets together, and you should get through this without too many deaths. If you do all die, make sure you stop and then wait for the respawn of all your teammates and move up together, because this is one of the harder parts. Make sure you don't get any anomalies in this area, because this is going to be the area where we're going to be doing the cheese and getting unlimited anomalies. After you've gotten through this part, you don't technically have to kill the saber shanks, but to doing so will make this next part a lot easier. So just kill off all the enemies, and once you're done with this area, you're going to move on to this next section where the shield is going to open up. What you want to do as a team is just go all the way down until you see the next area, which I think is the Exodus Crash Site area. Just keep going until you see in the bottom left the little name appear of the area, and then you're going to start doing the cheese. Now what you want to do is send back one person at a time to go destroy this anomaly that's on top of this little rock section here. So what you do is you get on your Sparrow, you go all the way there. You can use a rocket, you can just double jump and jetpack up there and shoot a rocket at it, or you can jump up on top of this debris that's behind you and use like kind of a scout rifle to shoot it. Basically what you do is you go there as fast as you can, kill the anomaly as fast as you can, go back, and then the next person can go, and you can take turns one at a time, going in there, destroying the anomaly, coming on back. Now there is something very important to note about this, is there is a maximum number of anomalies that you can get in this mission. They probably pre-programmed it so you couldn't cheese it very much, but basically after a while it will say maximum time reached. This really just means the maximum number of anomalies that you can gain. Once you see this, basically just dip and keep going through the mission, and don't get any more anomalies, just ignore them for the most part. and just keep going. So what I recommend doing instead is just having one person stay back and continually doing this cheese over and over again. They can use rockets, they can use sky rifles. I recommend the sky rifles and getting up on top of the thing. And the other two people continue through the Nightfall, keep going, shoot the anomalies as they go along, but for the most part just kind of ignore them, and then just keep on getting to the end of the boss fight where you destroy the shanks, and you can actually teleport that third person to you where it says joining allies once you've reached the maximum time limit. We got to the boss fight with about 10 minutes remaining. It still wasn't enough time to be able to get this Rat King under 5 minutes stuff. This boss is very difficult because again he keeps disappearing, but again, leave one person to do these cheese, the other people go through the raid or the Nightfall until you see maximum time reach. Whenever you grab an anomaly, it'll say that instead of giving you time, and then you make sure you teleport your allies into that final boss fight. And that's pretty much it. As far as the boss goes, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. You can try just using a bunch of people with Nova Bombs, Celestial Nighthawk, Golden Guns, just as much damage as you can put out in one hit, because the boss does basically, if he takes a half a bar of health, he does run away across the other side of the map and disappears for like 30 seconds at a time. So he's kind of a B with a little P. One of the recommendations that I had a friend of mine say is throw a tether down, and then at the same time the two other warlocks in the group use their Nova Bomb at the same time. It should take his health down to like half, and if you do end up nailing this, you should be able to get through the boss fight a lot faster. Again, the biggest part is that you hit him with something really hard and then he just disappears. One of the better heavy weapons to use is swords, because he does come up and close and just kind of chases you down and makes it very difficult for you to get back and forth. But other than that, I don't have too many recommendations. Again, I recommend waiting for the Rat King Nightfall to do another week. And if this comes back around again where you can kind of cheese it with the anomalies, there's probably going to be more cheeses in the future Nightfalls. So make sure you stay tuned here on Diachronic for all the fun little Nightfall cheeses for the Rat King. If you guys did not know, I actually do Rat King Nightfall carries as well as raid carries, maybe even trials carries. I don't think I'm that good at the game, but like if I could, trials carries over at Twitch TV. You can find the description down below, as well as my Discord down below, where I find people for this LFG, as well as where my subs from Twitch all hang out and all that stuff for the carries and all that. So go check it out and come check out a stream in the future, and hope to see you guys over on one of those streams. Anyways, that's the video for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy, and if you did, make sure to leave a like down below. My name's been Diachronic, and I'll see you guys on the next.